better Peking.
I,
Thank you so much for coming on our show this evening.
you're welcome.
I look at you and I remember how you gathered a group of 16 teenagers and
More than, actually.
more than 16 teenagers. Can you walk us through that event? What inspired that event?
Okay, so I grew up in a broadcast environment, and growing up, I didn't have that thing. I see people like my dad go to a radio station, OAPs talk, and it never occurred to me that one day I'm going to talk on radio. But after school, I read accounting actually. So after school, my dad called me and said, "Would you love to go into the broadcast environment?" I said yes. And then it dawned on me that I actually grew up in such an environment. So why didn't I pick interest? So coming down to Enugu, working at Solid 100.9 FM Enugu, I found out that a lot of kids need to actually start early for you to, if I had started early, I don't think I'll be where I am today. I'll be
You're not
far.
mad.
Really? Okay, so that's what actually inspired me to gather these kids together, train them to become media personalities.
Yeah, so it's so inspiring. And you told me something the last time we met that you're planning a reunion of the very first set.
Yeah.
Why are you planning a reunion? What do you want to get out of it? Because most of them are actually grown in universities. So why the reunion?
To create that consciousness in them again that, okay, you guys are grown up, you're going into the higher institution. That doesn't mean you need to let that dream die. Okay, I found out that they have this eagerness to actually talk on radio. So in order to still follow them up, that's okay, you're no more young children, you're no more in primary or secondary school, you're already in the university. We can actually do something with you. We could start up a teen show on radio where you come, you talk. So that's the idea.
I love how you're building a community around, these young ones. But if I'm to ask you, what is the creative process that goes into, developing a program, a radio program, and making it successful?
Okay, there are a lot of things. One is you check who is that program meant for, right? You need to be able to actually solve a problem when you're creating a radio program. You don't just go out there and say, let me just start off a radio program. Your radio program must be able to solve a problem. So for the programs that I handle on radio, I handle the children program, like you know. So the idea is, like I said, create that consciousness in these children. Make sure that even if you are studying medicine, public speaking is something you also need to have. You can't just come up in class and maybe there's a presentation and you will not be able to present. You must have that boldness to present. So you need to check your targets. You solve a problem as well. So that's basically the idea.
So if Beta Pikin was not a broadcast journalist, what would she be doing?
I read accounting in school. So maybe I would have gone back being an accountant or being a medical doctor.
So do you miss accountancy?
No, I don't. Because radio broadcast has actually taken me. And it's something that if I'd started early, I would have done a lot of things. But that doesn't mean that the time I started wasn't early. And I'm still doing those things that I had wanted to do.
So a young child, a young girl is looking at you and, wanting to toe your line, being a broadcast journalist, and probably she's doing another course that is not journalism. What would be, your advice to this girl?
Yeah, do that course. But while in school, there are a lot of things you can do. You can intern, you can freelance. Okay, there are radio stations and TV stations that accept that. So you could walk to a radio station or a TV station and tell them you want to intern there, you want to learn. Okay, in as much as you're studying something else. We have people who do that. They just marry their school, because they're studying in school and that what they have. Because most of them feel they have it. So once I think you have it or you feel you have it, I will tell you to go ahead. But let your school not suffer because of it. Just marry the two together.
Great. So does Solid 100.9 have that open door policy where anybody can just walk in and intern as a
Yes,
journalist?
we do.
Okay.
And a lot of people can attest to that. We do have that open door policy. You come, you tell us what you want, and a lot of people have come out of it because of that. So
Thank you so much,
you're
Peter
welcome.
Pikin. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Hamaka, thank you so much for coming on the show. So we in an environment where people don't really have much interest in volunteering. What made you volunteer for Red Cross?
Who made me?
What made you volunteer for the Red Cross?
Okay. Basically, very hospital. Like I like to help people, and I work in the university environment, University of Nigeria, Enugu
Okay.
campus, and I watched one emergency, and I was like, we should know.